Look, there are things like sushi. You either like it or you hate it. Elon Musk did something similar to sushi recently. He rebranded Twitter as X.com. Some people hate this idea so much. I am like other people who will like this because it kind of reflects a wider vision, something bigger than Twitter. But let's back up. X was actually a concept Elon Musk was thinking of a very long time ago. He was intending to create something that he would say the Everything app, which is kind of a super app. The closest thing that exists to this idea is an app in China called WeChat. It's sort of like WhatsApp, an instant messaging app that also has a digital wallet, so it's also PayPal, so it's both of those together. Apparently, if you can connect chatting or socializing with payment, then you connect to two major milestones, which gets you closer to a super app. There's also another app that is doing so, Revolut. It's a payment platform and it already has a lot of customers that are using their payment services. They're also intending to add other features that make it more of a social app. In my opinion, there is not really a super app in the market right now. I wouldn't consider any of these super app. They're all attempts, but it's not like the everything app. So I went to the drawing board and started imagining the product called X, which is the everything app. Not the Twitter you know right now, because that's very far away from what he has in mind. And it was fun because you get to think of what Elon's thinking of. At the same time, an app like this is very efficient. It's amazing. Imagine if you could do everything in a single app. It's quite efficient, but also has a lot of privacy concerns because, well, it has all the information of your payments and your information of your social life. So it's kind of a dangerous thing. Anyway, so for creating this short deck, I used Google Bard to give me inspiration of content. I asked it initially to give me the content, but it's never perfect. So what I use it just for inspiration. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So I added to Google Bard and started to say, let's create a small pitch deck for X, formerly known as Twitter, and the structure I'm thinking of is as follows. Usually, from my experience, when I just tell Bard or ChatGPT to design a presentation or a pitch deck, they do it in a very generic way. So that's why I try to make it as detailed as possible and make their job a lot easier. So cover page with elevator page, that was elevator pitch, not page, framing X.com as the everything app. That was the first slide. I made it very short, so it's supposedly 7 slides here. It ended up being 5, but at the same time, it's a start. Problems with social media apps like Facebook not being transparent and only solving a piece of the puzzle. Now, what Elon Musk is doing nowadays with Twitter is he's trying to solve the social aspect of the app, which is trying to make it transparent. That's all what he says on social media, is that Facebook and all other similar apps are not efficient in terms of transparency and regulation. So supposedly X solves that. But he also mentions that it will have some sort of digital wallet that would integrate the other end of the whole thing. It's like another PayPal added to this application. So the second slide, or the third slide, would be problems with PayPal being full of regulation, because it's not only the problem with social media, it's also the problem with payment platforms not being perfect. So this is like sort of the story of how we're saying the deck. The first 3 things are just an intro of what the problems in the world are that Elon Musk is thinking of with X.com. Then we would say presenting X, the merger of both those companies, taking the best of both worlds, a transparent, non-regulated PayPal Facebook hybrid. I'm making it very detailed for Bard so that it would give me something acceptable. Then product market fit or traction, whatever you want to call it in this stage, showing that Twitter already has around 500 million users. I'm not sure if it's actually 500 million, I think it's close to this number. PayPal's valuation or market cap is 67 billion, Facebook's valuation is 734 billion, Coinbase market cap 18 billion, because he also intends to add a little bit of a crypto integration into the app, into the X, the everything app. So those 3 X is the merger of all of these. It's not really correct to say that the market sizing is all of those together, but when you see that the valuation of Facebook is this size and Coinbase with crypto and all the interest in crypto has this market cap, and PayPal also has similar valuation, so it's somehow in there. You just show that all these are very important needs and that X.com or X the Everything app would have all those together. Projected growth of users from 500 million to 2 billion in 5 years. That's just throwing a number so that it would just show some sort of projections at the end. Write me a deck with exactly this number of slides. Do not make it generic and give me an interesting 1-line title for each. For example, a valuation that does not exist, or The market already loves the X.com. So that was my prompt. At the beginning, it gave me a little bit of a few things. I'll share a link of this chat with you in the description of the video so you can explore it however you'd like. But the problem with the first thing that I noticed was that the number of slides were only 5, not 7. And then I asked for 7, not 5. So then it gave me 7, I believe. It gave me 7, but it gave me something that I never asked for, which is the team. So I disregarded it. In all cases, I started having the intention of not making it 7 slides, so I thought this was enough anyway. But I did say that I don't like the body being 3 bullets. It's all like that. All the bodies like X.com is expected. I didn't want that. When I wanted to write the deck, I wanted to design it my own or send it to a designer. So I just wanted a paragraph that I would imagine how the design would look like. So I said that. It looks boring. Can you make it unexpected? Possibly a small paragraph in each slide that I would send to my designer to work on. Then this final thing is actually interesting. I don't think I added anything after that yet. So this was the final thing, and it did give me some inspiration into creating the presentation. So it would say paragraphx.com is already a popular platform with millions of users. Twitter has a large and engaged user base, not bad. And the design, it shows a chart or a graph. I like this concept of bar. This is something that I could use as an inspiration to create a deck. It's not perfect because it's still generic text, so I won't take this text, but I will use it for my slides or my presentation. So then I'll show you the final design that I worked on. So this is how it looks like. X, the Everything app, a transparent, non-regulated Fin social platform that connects everything. I don't know if this is actually a word, Fin social, as in financial and social at the same time. So I just used it. Why not? And then the Everything app X. Of course, this is not the logo or not. I don't think they actually use the phrase the Everything app yet. It's just because this, at the end of the day, it's not a copyright. I don't want to do any copyright violations. It's just an imagination of how X or a product like X would look like. So that's why it's a little bit different. Social media has transformed into agenda media. Sort of, this is a little bit creative in terms of just, this is an average deck to everyone, you know? So every social media right now has sort of agenda. This is what X would say. And that's why I was thinking from X's point of view. Expectation, social media connects people to people. That's what you think when you send someone a message. But in reality, advertisers get your information, governments and algorithms, they all spread this information. Not that X doesn't do that. X 100% does that. It does. Maybe not the government's part, but definitely the advertisers and the algorithms. So this is one of the problems, which is the social part. And then I went on to payment. I like this because I made it in a role play sort of way. So payment is always an additional step and just a conversation between two people. Hey, thanks for paying. How do I pay you back? You're welcome. Hey, you're welcome. PayPal? I don't have PayPal. What about Revolut? What's that? So this sort of conversation is something that I'm sure you've experienced one time or the other. So these are the extra steps that I'm referring to as taking more time. So if you can integrate, if you use WhatsApp, for example, all the time, and there's an option of just paying with WhatsApp directly to the person's bank account, then that would be really cool. So this is the idea of X, or the payment part of X. And then I would say everything. This is introducing the solution on X.com. Hey, thanks for paying. I sent you a payment in crypto. Thanks, I already received it. Do you think I should buy a new Tesla? And here, this is the fun part, which is a narrator saying, guess what? Later on, there were no Tesla ads all over the user's newsfeed. I'm sure you know what I mean. When you just send on Instagram a message that just shows, hey, I want to buy this new Mercedes, or did you check this car? And then you're just your newsfeed is full of ads with Mercedes. And then finally, this is just quite traditional, and this is the last part of it, is just 500 million users and counting, and this is just a small projection. It absolutely is based on nothing, so it doesn't really have to reach 2 billion. It's just an optimistic way of looking at the Everything app. I mean, if it does become an Everything app this way, then 2 billion is not really that far away. I think Facebook has around 3.8 billion users, so a growth from 500 million to 2 billion is actually achievable in 5 years if they work on being more, people would depend more on the app. So that was overall the pitch deck of the Everything app as a concept. Now let me ask you, what do you think of this X Everything app concept? Do you think it's too scary, too much power in a person's hand, or is it already there and there are big apps like WeChat already doing that? I want to hear your ideas. Shoot me a comment in this video and let's start an interesting discussion. Meanwhile, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, but don't forget to have a wonderful day.